In this video, I'm going to be breaking down some potential Amazon FBA products and why I wouldn't buy them to help you avoid common mistakes and pitfalls new sellers run into. With Q4 here, it's incredibly important to have your product research completely dialed in so you can take full advantage of the holiday increases in price and demand. And if you want to work directly with me to be as prepared as possible for Q4, I'm going to leave a link down below to apply for my coaching program, and let's get right into the video. So this is going to be a crash course in the basics of what not to look for with the product, and then the opposite is, okay, what do I actually look for when I'm doing product research with this stuff? Right off the bat, so coming to this product, we can see over on SellerAmp, this has the private label alert. Now, the private label alert on SellerAmp is a sign that there's guaranteed a couple sellers, right? So, but how do we make sure that it's not actually, or that it is actually a private label product? The way we do in this case is by looking at the Keepa chart down here, right? And seeing if historically it's only ever had one seller, right? Which we can see in this case it has, right? And then what we wanna do is take a look at if this seller is the brand, right? Or is like a Chinese, like private label seller, for example. We can see right here, we scroll down and we can see that that is in fact the case, right? So we're not gonna be able to sell this product. If you run into items that have the private label alert, what you wanna do is go ahead and determine if the brand or the owner of the listing is the only seller on it. Check the Keepa if they've been the only seller on it historically, right? And then avoid products that are like that. And in the first place, when you're a beginner, you shouldn't even really ever be coming across stuff like that, because you should mainly be reverse sourcing for already vetted, already that we know are reseller friendly brands, you know, Nike, Adidas, Neutrogena, Puma, Converse, Under Armour, that kind of stuff, right? So you're not even gonna ever run into stuff like this. But if you do, know to avoid it if you can see that the brand owner is the only seller on it, that there's only been one seller on it historically, and that clearly this is a private label product right here. So we want to avoid something like this. Stuff with the private label alert on SellerAmp can be fine. You just have to determine if it's actually private label or not, and that's how you do it. Number two right here. So you want to avoid products that are skyrocketing in competition, right? So if you scroll down and take a look at this Keepa chart right here, we can see on the 3-month data on this product, early September, there were like 4 to 5 sellers. Right here, and we can see currently there are 50 sellers, right? So if you see something like this on a Keepa chart, clearly this must have hit like a lead list or been incredibly easy to find for a lot of beginners right here. So you want to be finding products that are like, there's like a moat around them. My friend Garrett gives a really good description of this. Basically what you want to build moats around your products, right? You want to be buying stuff using coupon codes, stuff that's on sale, maybe you throw in a discounted gift card from Top Cashback or Raise into there as well. And the harder a product is to find, the less competition you're gonna see. So if you're coming across Keepa charts that look like this one that have an offer count, aka right here on the Keepa chart, that is absolutely skyrocketing, you completely want to avoid that, right? And so for Black Friday, perfect scenario for Black Friday, Q4, the holidays in general, is to be buying from your favorite websites, products that are on sale that you can also use a coupon for, a coupon from like Capital One Shopping or Be Frugal, which are the coupon Chrome extensions, or that you find for like an email sign up that you can just loop basically with there. So you want to avoid stuff that's going up in competition and subsequently going down in price. We can see it went from 36 2 weeks ago all the way down to $19. So it's gonna be incredibly hard to be profitable on that right there. So this is something we want to avoid right here. Okay, the next thing we want to look out for when we're doing product research is products that you can see a history of IP complaints on the Keepa chart, right? And so how do we actually go ahead and see a history of IP complaints on the Keepa chart? So, right, if we scroll down here, you're gonna look at the year-long chart on anything you go ahead and buy. We can see specifically on this item back in January, right? There were 72 sellers on it January 8th. And then legitimately 2 days later, there was 0 sellers and 1 seller, right? So we can scroll in here and we can see, so it was that really, really steep drop right there. So if you see that kind of competition action on Keepa, run far away from that, even if there's currently sellers on it. Some people get risky with stuff that they, you know, can see IP'd in the past. Personally, I definitely recommend staying away from items like that. So if you're looking on the, like every product you look at, you're gonna be looking at the year-long Keepa data on, right? You're mainly gonna be making decisions based on the 3-month, but if you can see a history of IP complaints in the Keepa chart, stay away. Sometimes you're gonna see suspected or known issues on SellerAmp for this stuff as well. You wanna cross-reference that to the Keepa data, because for example, we can see there's currently people selling this, but there is definitely an inherent risk, seeing that it happened back in January, and then it looks like it might have happened in May as well, as it really sharply cut off on there. So it's those really steep drops in competition, definitely want to be avoiding. Okay, so this next item right here, this one is incredibly confusing for beginners. So we can see the sales rank on this product is about 6,000, so that's pretty good. However, this is a variation listing in that we can see that there's tons of other colors right here and tons of other sizes, right? So the way, and that sales rank is for the entire listing, right? Not this specific size and color combination, this variation, right? So the way you're gonna determine velocity on listings that have variations is gonna be by looking not at the sales rank of the estimated sales, but by looking at the overall Keep It chart. And that we can see across the 200 days this product has been around, there's not a ton of activity and the price is headed down on something like this, right? You wanna see healthy oscillation. Like for example, the balance of nature, right here we can see this product is very clearly selling, looking at the competition action, right? This product is clearly not selling anywhere close to as much, right, on something like this. So the way you're gonna measure data for different variations is gonna be looking at the individual Keep It chart for each specific variation, because that's gonna be the competition and price action that matters to make a purchasing decision based on that. It's not going to be based on the sales rank. Now, if the sales rank's really good, is there a good chance a bunch of the different colors, a bunch of different more common colors in here are gonna be selling well? Of course, right? But for example, it's like snakeskin one, right? It was only added 213 days ago. There's a couple sellers, we don't see a ton of up and down action across like a 6-month period. It's safe to assume that this probably isn't selling super well, right here, okay. Next one, this one's really simple right here, but still for a lot of beginners, they screwed up basically. The number one initial factor you vet on a product to go ahead and look at, especially when you're doing reverse sourcing and storefront stocking where you're looking inside the storefronts of other sellers, is gonna be the sales rank, right? For the most part, you wanna stay below 100,000 sales rank, right? So you definitely want to avoid something like this. It's about like a 400,000 sales rank. We can see estimated it's only 20 per month. Or here we can see on the Keep It chart, just like the last one, we don't see much movement at all. Right here, so this is definitely something you want to avoid. So for the most part, stay below that 100,000 sales rank. Some products with like 120K rank, you know, you'll see on the Keep It chart that's moving, it was 80 a week ago, right? Can see total movement if you see healthy oscillation in price and competition right there. But for the most part, really high sales rank stuff like this, and then you can see the averages over time as well, BSR drops and such, you want to avoid. Okay, this next one right here, so looking here, we can see that Amazon's been on this in the past, right? And I've been wrong in some of my content, kind of being scared of selling on listings that Amazon's on, but I want you guys to know when you see Amazon on a listing, how you should actually go about operating with it, right? So if you see Amazon on a listing, right, as we can see here, the orange on the Keep It chart, right, what you immediately wanna do is figure out how much of the buy box they're sharing, right? In that we can see, let's say we take out Amazon out right here, we can see this is a very healthy oscillation Keep It chart, right? If we select Amazon back in, what we need to do in this case is we need to go here, data, and then buy box stats, and see how much Amazon's sharing the buy box. For the most part, on quick selling, you know, sub 100,000 ranked products that, you know, have good Keep It charts, I'm comfortable going after something if Amazon has, you know, 60 or 70% or less of the buy box, right? Because the more third-party buy box shares going around, the more sales we're gonna be able to get as third-party sellers, right? So there's a big misconception that if you see Amazon on something, you should probably avoid it. However, you can make educated decisions based on that and even compete with Amazon in some cases if you're taking a look at the data and buy box stats on that product right here. So red flags to look for, obviously price tanking, high sales ranks, Amazon getting 100% of the buy box share, you definitely want to avoid private label listings and then just stuff that's selling too slow basically, right? So I hope this stuff was helpful for you guys in terms of product research. If you're interested in working with me to scale up for this Q4, apply for my coaching program down below. A bunch of other resources in the description, seller amp, key tutorials, etc. See you guys in the next one. Love you.